mistakes?
My generation served in a quagmire in Iraq and Afghanistan. The way you stain the troops when you tell them 2 months in, Congressman, you should know better. Shame on you. Calling this a quagmire 2 months in. The effort, what they've undertaken, what they've succeeded, the success on the battlefield that could create strategic opportunities, the courage of a president to confront a nuclear Iran, and you call it a quagmire, handing propaganda to our enemies. Shame on you for that statement. And statements like that are reckless to our troops. Don't say I support the troops on one hand, and then a 2-month mission is a quagmire. Who are you cheering for here? Who are you pulling for? Our troops are doing incredible work.
Of all the cases that have been brought and threatened against President Trump's enemies, this one may be the weakest. This is going to be a ridiculously hard case for prosecutors to win. Why? He has to have intended it to have been a threat for this to be a successful prosecution.
Saying that what their rhetoric is not matching reality, and their rhetoric doesn't certainly help the war effort. I mean, it's not a quagmire. That is ridiculous. We've been there 2 months. Obama was in Libya for 7 or 8 months. I don't recall Democrats worrying about the word quagmire back then. And also Democrats, I think, have had a hard time grasping the mission, which Hegseth was quite clear about today. The president's been clear about, which is we're not going to let Iran have a nuclear weapon. And Democrats and Republicans have traditionally agreed on this goal for a very long time. Now, it's only Trump who's decided to do something about it. The blockade is working. We're draining the Iranian economy. They've got nowhere to put their oil. A little patience here, and this may turn out with exactly what we want, which is Iran not having a nuclear weapon. That's the goal. That's what we're headed for.
The people who think it's a quagmire are actually the American people. That is why the approval for the president's war effort is in the 30s, not the 50s, the 60s, like most military engagements, but in the 30s, because a broad majority of Americans are concerned about the costs of the war, but they're also concerned about these goals you just laid out not being achieved in any way, shape, or form. We were all against a nuclearized Iran. Just to remind everyone, we had a system where we had no nuclear, Iran had no nuclear access, no nuclear weapons.
False.
No, they had no nuclear weapons.
They
do not have nuclear weapons.
That
is your lying when you say. Did they have nuclear weapons?
They
did not.
Enriched uranium.
They did not have nuclear weapons.
And they're on the brink of having 11 bombs. That's what Obama left us.
The brink. What is a brink? A year, 2 year, 10 years?
Weeks.
Regardless.
The experts say weeks.
The issue right now is, because of this war, the Iranians have something they never had before, which is a chokehold on the global economy. You're laughing, but you know what? You laugh at the pain that is causing people at the pump. It's causing farmers.
I laugh at
You're laughing at people's pain. I'm not. I'm saying nobody. Actually, the people who've strengthened the IRGC are the people who have engaged in this war and given them this chokehold. Yes, I think the IRGC is strengthened. Actually, their hold on the Iranian people is stronger than ever. You know, if they were so weak, why wouldn't they have run to get a negotiation already? We are weeks into this with no final resolution. If they were so desperate, why haven't they caved?
How long should it have taken? 3 hours, 6 hours, 9 hours?
I don't know.
What's the nearest military strategy timeline?
I say the president. It's not my military strategy. It's Donald Trump's military strategy. I mean, you may call it unbelievable, but people are suffering in this country, and I know. You know what's ridiculous? I'm sorry. What's ridiculous is that you laugh at the pain.
Wish casting.
You laugh at the pain of Americans. Okay, I'm concerned about the people of America, and you are just doing partisan questions.
I've spent probably like $200, probably in less than 10 days.
As long as we have this oil price shock, it's going to have a very adverse effect on the economy. And even if it were to end tomorrow, there's going to be a long tail from this that'll affect the economy for months, if not maybe even a year or more.
But the war ending tomorrow or even soon seems unlikely. The president posting on Truth Social overnight an AI image of himself holding a weapon under the banner, "No more Mr. Nice Guy," calling on Iran to get their act together and sign a non-nuclear deal.
The U.S. president also discussed the war with Iran with Russian President Vladimir Putin in a phone call Wednesday, later telling reporters he believes the wars in Ukraine and Iran could end along a similar timeline. Jeff?
Heather Yerkes-West in Washington. Thanks, Heather.
Makes a critique. To turn that into cheering for Iran It's just as
She
disingenuous.
said their IRGC is strengthened. Do you agree with that?
They are strengthened.
Listen,
They
I
are
know
strengthened.
that
Their hold on the country
I know
is
that there
stronger.
hasn't been regime change the way that Donald Trump wants to tell us
Exactly.
there is. I don't know if they are strengthened or are not. I think when this is over, we will know. But I do know that asking legitimate questions, and I think a lot of the people in America have questions about what we are doing, what it's costing, questions that were asked in this hearing today. That doesn't mean you are cheering for Iran. That means you are cheering for America. Let me just say this. I don't think this hearing today served much of a purpose. I think we've gotten used to these spectacles and performances
I agree with you about this.
in Congress
you and I are on the same
where
page.
there is a lot of screaming, often on both sides. It's often Congress people screaming at the person testifying and the person testifying screaming back at Congress. In this case, it was a lot more one-sided. It was Pete Hegseth doing most of the screaming. I think Pete Hegseth bringing up how long we were in Vietnam or Iraq may not be as helpful as he thinks to his argument because people have very bad memories about that. I don't think we learned much as an American people who want answers.
He's going to get a better deal than anyone ever has and ensure that Iran never has a nuclear weapon. I know the American people support that mission despite your loose talk and words